namaskritya chaiva namottamam devim saraswatim vyasa tato dayamudiraye ashtapraya sarvatreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttama shloke bhakti bhavati naishtiki. So we are continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 4, entitled The Atrocities of King Kamsa. And today's verse is 23, I believe. Okay. So I've been told, so Hare Krishna. Alright. Shamadvan mama duratmyam. Is everybody? There's no board, huh?
Well, the board is not there because I didn't know which one was.
The verse, of course. Okay, well, we'll have to do what we'll have to do. Samadva mama doratmyam sadavo dinavatsala iti uksvara mukhapado shvalaya swarso adagrihit Shamastvan mama duratmyam sadavo dinavatsalaha iti uksvashru mukhapado shalaya swasro arthagri Shamadvam mama duratmyam sadavo dinavatsala iti ukshvashru mukhapado svalaya swashru athagrahi. Notice.
Shamadvam mama duratmyam sadavo dinavatsalaha iti ukshvashru mukhapado sharashvashru athagrahi.
Shamadvam mama duratmyam sadavo dinavatsalaha ukshvashru mukhapado shala swasro ratagrihi.
Ladies, Mataji's, anyone else?
Shamadvam mama duratmyam sadavo dinavatsalaha
iti vakshvashru mukhapado svalasvaro athagrahi.
Shamadvam mama duratmyam
mama duratmyam
sadavo dinavatsala iti uktavru mukhapado
iti ukshvashru mukhapado salasvastro athagrahi. Word for word. Shamastvam. Kindly excuse. Mama. My. Doratmyam. Atrocious activities. Sadhava. Both of you are great saintly persons. Dinavatsalaha. And are very kind to poor, crippled-minded persons. Iti uktva. Saying this. Ashrumukhaha. His face full of tears. Pado. The feet. Shrayilaha,
Swalaha,
his brother-in-law,
his brother-in-law,
Kamsa,
Kamsa,
Swashruho,
Swashraha,
of his sister and brother-in-law,
of his sister and brother-in-law,
Atha,
Tata,
thus,
thus,
Agrahe,
Agrahe,
captured.
captured.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Kamsa begged, my dear sister and brother-in-law, please be merciful to such a poor-hearted person as me. Since both of you are saintly persons, please excuse my atrocities. Having said this, Kamsa fell at the feet of Vasudev and Devaki, his eyes full of tears of regret. Please repeat. Kamsa begged,
Kamsa begged,
my dear sister
my dear sister
and brother-in-law,
and brother-in-law,
please be merciful to me,
please be merciful to me,
such a poor-hearted person as me.
such a full-hearted person as me.
Since both of you
Since both of you
are saintly persons,
are saintly persons,
please excuse my atrocities.
please excuse my atrocities.
Having said this,
Having said this,
Kamsa fell
Kamsa fell
at the feet of Vasudev and Devaki,
at the feet of Vasudeva and Devaki,
his eyes full of tears of regret.
his eyes full of tears of regret.
And there's a short purport by Srila Prabhupada. Although Kamsa had spoken very nicely on the subject of real knowledge, his past deeds were abominable and atrocious, and therefore he further begged forgiveness from his sister and brother-in-law by falling at their feet and admitting that he was a most sinful person. Mama jnanatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam jena tasmai shri guruve namaha Shri Chaitanya manobishtam stapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa kada mayam dadati swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Rupesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Okay, so yeah, so you guys have been studying this Canto 10, Chapter 4 for some time now, yeah? And at this point of the story of Canto 10, this is where I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that Kamsa had realized that the 8th son of Devaki had already taken birth. And this is the point where he tried to kill the goddess Durga in the form of a baby girl who Vasudev had brought all the way from Nanda Maharaj's courtyard on the bed of Yashoda Mai. Because what he did was, after Krishna was born, Vasudeva Krishna was born, Vasudev took Krishna to Nanda Maharaj's courtyard and delivered Krishna there for safekeeping, as instructed to him by Krishna. Yeah? There he found another Krishna, and he found a girl. So there was a twin birth that Yashoda Mai had given. And so as soon as Vasudev placed Vasudeva Krishna next to Mother Yashoda, Vasudeva Krishna and Nanda Kishore Krishna merged into one. And then he brought the baby girl back to Mathura in the prison of Kamsa. So as you can imagine, in this wonderful night where Krishna was born, magical things started to happen. All the auspiciousness has started to appear. All the guards, all the demons started to fall asleep. All the shackles from Nanda Maharaj and Devaki started to fall apart. And all the doors of obstacles in our life started to open up. These are very telltale signs that when we come to Krishna consciousness and accept Him in our heart with full-heartedness and carry Him in our heart, then all magical things starts to happen in our life also. Many obstacles starts to give away. Many things in our life that we feel that are important goes away. We start then to accept the appearance of Krishna in our heart, and when we start progressing with that, we carry Him in our heart through the life that we progress. He takes us by that journey to the destination that we desire to go to, whichever destination that might be. But the fact is that we have to accept Him in our heart. But before that happens, what needs to happen? What needs to happen to our heart? Cleansing needs to happen. How does cleansing happen? Cleansing happens through many processes, but one of the key processes that cleansing happens is through the Guru. Here we know that in Devaki, a certain Guru had appeared before Krishna appeared. Who is that Guru? Balaram. Balaram is Adi Guru for all of us. He's there at the altar. He is Adi Guru for the entire creation. He is the first Guru who actually comes in as an entourage and start preparing things for Krishna's appearance. Before Krishna appears, everything that needs to happen happens through Balaram's agency. And so, similarly with our hearts also, we have to accept a Guru. If we don't have a Guru, we pray to Lord Balaram. We pray to Krishna. Through Krishna and Balaram, we find Guru, and through Guru, he takes us to Krishna. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina tattva darshinaha. Tadvidi, if we use that vidhi and please our Guru by serving him humbly and actually accepting him as our spiritual master, he then takes responsibility, personal responsibility, firstly for removing our karma through the process of initiation, and in the fire of yajna he burns off the karmic reactions. Then the next step is then he starts imparting transcendental knowledge to us through his transcendental knowledge, gathering for many years and practicing as an acharya. Just like Prabhupada has done for so many disciples who are here, who I should really take the dust off their lotus feet, because really they should be sitting on this high asana than myself. So like that, the Guru's position is similarly, just like Prabhupada empowered all the Prabhupada disciples, his disciples, to become the torch bearers of ISKCON. And we follow those torch bearers in taking the steps in the right direction to follow and get the mercy of Krishna and Krishna consciousness. So like that, here, as soon as Kamsa realized that actually Mother Durga herself has taken birth, he thought, had taken birth from Devaki's womb. And so these personalities are not ordinary personalities. They're just not my sister and brother-in-law. They are somebody very, very exalted. And I should be very ashamed of all of the austerities that I have performed to my dear sister and brother-in-law. So he's remorseful. At this moment in time, he's very remorseful. And this is a very a demoniac tendency, isn't it? At one moment, they are doing all sorts of atrocities. But the next moment, as soon as they realize that, oh, they're wrong, oh, they'll be really, really nice. They'll be really, really, they'll do anything for you. And at this moment, eyes full of tears, asking for pardon to Devaki and Vasudeva. What would you think is going through the mind of Devaki and Vasudeva at this stage? When Kamsa himself, the king who's been, banishing all their children, as well as doing all these atrocities to them, what's going through their mind right now? Any ideas?
They're pious souls, so they are definitely thinking he must have been reformed, or he must be regretting, and he must be like remorseful, willing to change.
Okay, so that'd be one thought, one feeling that they could have had at that moment in time. I mean, just moments before this part, this verse, just moments before, he was trying to kill their surrogate daughter, their adoptive daughter. And the next moment, he's literally, repentful. Now, any normal person would be like, no, you are a rascal. You are here, you're killing us, and you are actually doing all these things to us, and now you're sorry? What about the sorries of all those other children that I've suffered? Devaki had a right to say that. Vasudeva had the right to say that, right? But yes, you're right. They are pious. They know. They are knowledgeable. They know that this is the doing of the Lord. This is the cleansing activity that the Lord needs to do to the world in order to appear, in order to actually take birth through the agency of Vishnu and Devaki. And he himself appears in such an extraordinary way to teach us that he isn't ordinary, he is extraordinary. He is there to give us the vision that in order to get to him, it isn't an easy task. We have to cross rivers, we have to get through the atrocities, through the cleansing exercise, we have to go through many, many aspects of life and start the path that the acharyas have walked on, which is laden with thorn and with so many pebbles and so on, and we are bare feet. But luckily, because of mercy of Prabhupada, even Prabhupada had to do so many austerities. In Gaudiya Math, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's minimum level is 64 rounds. Their ability to do devotional service was so high that no one could actually do within Prabhupada's branch of devotion. So, mercy of Prabhupada is so much that he minimized that for us. So much austerity that he did at the ripe old age of 70. Suffered through the cold and all of the austerity, just so that we get a wonderful palace like this, just so that we get a wonderful access to the deities that are here on a regular basis, and they are so reciprocative. Last time I was here, I was very, very fortunate to do a little bit of altar service, and they are so reciprocative. They really get into your heart. I was trembling at one point to just try to do the arti. Okay, my arm wasn't quite working. I have a tendon problem, and so I went to India recently to do some Ayurvedic treatment in Ujjain. But having said that, it gave me the energy, so much energy, and so much light to actually be able to do a little bit of altar service here. They are very, very powerful deities. And that's because of Prabhupada, because his presence is here and he himself was there to welcome these deities, install these deities in the first place. So later on we will see how, I don't really want to go into the next following verses, but we'll see the reality of Kamsa anyway come through. We will see that Kamsa's true colors are never changed. Demons never change so easily. Unless they are really, really reprimanded by the Lord, like Shishupal was through cutting off his head, like obviously Kamsa was through dragging him through with his hair on his own courtyard. Only that way demons can be annihilated. Unfortunately, in this age of Kali, demoniac behaviors and pious behaviors are all in the one mind. And so we have to drag the likes of Kamsa-mindedness out of our mind through the agency of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Just wanted to say those few words. If devotees want to add other things that they have realization reflections, then let's have that little discussion, and we can also maybe mine some more gems from this wonderful Bhagavatam, that is Amalapuram Srimad Bhagavatam.
Can you say something about the children of
Devaki?
Devaki? And if there's, like in the Krishna book, explains that they were cursed or they were paying some reaction of some simple activities they did, so they had to take birth and then, get killed. Can you say something?
I always get confused by Ganga's children, Mother
That's
Ganga,
another story,
and Devaki's children, which is which way around it is. Now Ganga's children, I know the story. Devaki's children, I have to go back and do a little bit more research. I'm sure others would know. Because Ganga's children were led by Devavrata, who was in his past life as a Brahmin's child, and the children. They went to a sage and they wanted to steal the cow, a Kamadhenu cow. And so they plotted to do that. And the sage cursed them. So then they were repentant. So the sage said, fine, what will happen is you will take birth and immediately you'll come out of the material world. You'll take birth and immediately you'll come out. Except for the leader who has led this whole plot of stealing the cow. And so therefore you will have to actually go through the entire cycle of material birth and death. Like that. So that's why Devavrata was the last child who was saved to Ganga, because Maharaj Shantanu, he stopped her, saying, why are you killing our children? But she had a bet that I'm only going to marry you if you don't question me whatever I do. So you can imagine the turmoil of a father when first child, second child, third child, fourth child is just drowned in the Ganga because he didn't know the backstory. Sometimes we also think that why is something happening in our life? Why is something happening in our family's life or our friend's life? But we don't know the backstory. We don't know what it is that has happened in their past life. What have they done in their past life that they are deserving this thing? So we can only, solace them, give them some comfort by saying some nice words. But we know that karma, what goes around comes around, whether this life or the next life, like that. Anybody know the Devaki's children's story?
They were children of Marichi.
Marichi, yes.
They saw Brahma was chasing his own daughter. They laughed at him. So they got cursed.
Wow, okay. But in that story also, so go and carry on.
Yeah, please.
No, sorry.
Add something.
No, I was just going to add Lord Shiva's intervention there, but yeah, carry on with Marichi's children.
And then, they got cursed that you will be killed by your own father. They take birth as Kalanemi's children. And then, after that, Kalanemi got killed. They take birth as Kamsa's children. And then that's why Kamsa kills them. That's when the term was over. I think it's in Chaitanya Bhagavatam.
Krishna's book also.
Yeah, Chaitanya Bhagavad Gita said that they come back, actually Mother Devaki give them the breast milk, they all get liberated. They go back to heavenly planet.
Why Bhishma was the exception?
Bhishma is different.
That's a different story. That's the story with Ganga. This is the story with
They are
Devaki.
Vasus.
Vasudeva.
7 Vasus.
Yeah, 7 Vasus. So then all of them were killed, except obviously for Krishna and Balaram, because they just tail ended. They just joined the party, as it were.
So they take birth. They also like go through few births. Before Kalanemi, I cannot remember whose children.
I can't either. I have to look it up.
That's why Krishna says Janma Karma Chameti. Just know my appearance, disappearance. It's also so intricate, you know. You know today, tomorrow you kind of.
Yeah, I couldn't remember that it was 3 births. I thought it was just 1 birth, but it's 3 births, as you said.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the difference in the Ganga story versus the Devaki's children's story. Yes.
Kalanemi.
Kalanemi, Kamsa, and then Devaki. But before Kalanemi, there was one more. I don't remember. I have to look it up. Okay.
Yeah, one point
Yes.
I wanted to
Yes, please.
highlight is that the devotees, Vasudeva and Devaki, they were rewarded because of their pious and devotional activity by the birth of Lord Krishna. But we see that, and they were amazed. Oh, and here is Vishnu and then Krishna. And the treatment is different for Kamsa. Because of his demonic nature, he didn't saw Krishna at all. What he saw is a material energy personified. And furthermore, she was angry at him. So that's different realization. They give different
End result.
demigod or demigoddess or God himself that appears to him. And furthermore, because she was angry, he was puzzled and he didn't know what to do, what not to do. So he apologized, but the day after he completely changed. So his mind was not properly adjusted to what happened, where we see that a goddess shows up like that. And furthermore, Durga, which is not so an easy personality to deal with.
Yes. I mean, she could have easily killed him there and then, but she knew what was the intention of the Lord. So, yeah, he was supposed to be killed by the Lord. And as you were speaking, something else came to my mind, in that demoniac-natured people, Kamsa and others, Shishupal, Ravana, etc., they don't always get to take the darshan of the Lord, but they are constantly meditating on the Lord. More so than sometimes the devotees. Devotees, like, I'm talking about myself now, you guys are all very elevated. When I'm chanting, my mind is going everywhere. When I'm trying to do certain services, my mind is always running around everywhere, here and there and everywhere. So trying to bring it back to the activity for devotional service, it can be tricky. But Kamsa was constantly thinking about Krishna. He was constantly just one-pointedness, focus on how he can find this child and save his life. Isn't it?
Save it.
Save his life, yeah, because he wanted to save his life, his own life.
So he was thinking, but it wasn't favorable thinking. It wasn't like if you think about Krishna, you think about Krishna positively.
Sure.
But if you think about Krishna and you want to kill Krishna, then it's not like meditating on
Sure, but
Krishna.
he's still got piety for that. He still got an elevated birth because of that. He still got delivered because he got killed by Krishna himself.
But you can say that it wasn't favorable thinking.
True. Even favorable or unfavorable, Krishna doesn't see the difference. Krishna doesn't see, oh, this devotee was favorable to me, no. He sees devotion only.
But in the case of Kamsa, there was no devotion. He
No devotion.
because he was scared, he was afraid, he was planning and how to kill this, Krishna. So Prabhupada explains also in the Gita about thinking, serving Krishna favorably
Yes.
or unfavorably. If it's not done with the right conscience, then you don't get the inner result, isn't it?
So obviously he didn't achieve Goloka, or he didn't get love of Godhead, but he did get liberation. Sahaja Mukti, yes, exactly. He got liberation. Same as
So
Shishupal.
what happened? Then you come back again here or not?
No, he got liberation.
It is said that he actually came back, Kamsa, as Chankazi, because he didn't get the love of Godhead. See, anybody gets killed by Krishna or Rama, they're ultimately, if they're not favorable, they only get liberation.
But they get liberation, and like it's a kind of merging into the Brahman effulgence. Then they had to fall down again on earth.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
So
I heard there was recently someone said that when somebody goes to the liberation, like higher planetary system, out of millions, only one will advance. Most of them will come down. That is
They fall back into the material
because
world.
it's very difficult by yourself, because this is your own endeavor to go back, or someone like Narad Muni comes as a leader.
Because the only thing required is to enter Goloka Vrindana
Yeah.
is only one prema. You cannot enter the spiritual world.
Sure. But what a fortunate birth afterwards, to take birth as Chankazi and meet Lord Chaitanya and accept him as a relative. That is that's huge, because then he got delivered by Lord Chaitanya.
Even Sringadeva was sitting on his chest.
Yeah, exactly. How fortunate is that? Anything else? What time does the class normally go until?
Until 9.
Until 9? Okay, great.
Yeah, to come back about Bhishma, I don't remember the story about the 8 Vasu, yeah, I understand, but how is it that Bhishma was the 8 Vasu and he had a different treatment?
Yeah, because he, in his previous life, as a child who he was the leader for stealing the cow. And so when the sage minimized because the other children, everybody begged for forgiveness. So he minimized the curse. He said, you will have to go back to earth and take birth and pay penance for this act that you have committed. And so because he was the leader, his curse wasn't minimized. But he was told that because he was already an exalted personality, he was a Mahajan afterwards. And so he personally got darshan of Krishna many times during his lifetime as Devavrat and then as Bhishma, because he took so much austerity, he took so much upon himself for serving others. All he wanted to do was to serve others. And that was his magnanimity, that was his as a personality, that was his soul. And though all the other children were just born and drowned into the river, they were liberated straight away. They went back to their original positions. But he was saved because he had a higher purpose to do, actually. This is all pastime of the Lord.
There's what his world was like that because he had done some previous activities or like that?
Yeah, so he had actually done a lot of pious activity.
He was a kind of different Vasu than the other ones.
I mean, he was that lead, and that's why he had to actually stay. He suffered a lot whilst he was there in the material world. So he had to suffer and pay that penance for stealing, for leading the activity to steal the cow.
Yeah, because the other Vasus actually they misuse
their power.
I've seen that it's a benediction to stay.
Yeah.
Because you assist Lord Krishna pastimes and
I mean,
you have darshan of Krishna.
That was
It's a bad choice actually.
But did he actually know that? That's my question. Did he actually know that was the case? Did he he himself didn't know that actually Krishna was going to take birth in this lifetime, in his lifetime. It so appeared it was actually the pastime of the Lord that he wanted him there and be in his pastime itself.
Yeah.
So just for that, you've got to have a lot of pious credits in order to actually take part in a Lord's personal pastimes like that.
It looks like the 7 Vasus, they missed the train.
They missed the train, or they went back to wherever they were supposed to go. I mean,
They went back to their position actually.
yeah.
They said when they leave the body.
But the position is in this material world. He could have promoted themselves
To go local.
to the spiritual world by staying. I don't understand the
But
shape of mind.
did Bhishma Dev also go back to his position? He got a position of Mahajan, right? But did he go back to his original position, or did he actually? Because he died right watching Krishna. But did Krishna have a different plan for him? Because he was regarded as the Mahajan, so he still has a duty to do as a Mahajan, right?
Yeah.
As a responsibility to do.
Not only the 7 Vasu, but many other demigods, like the one with the snake,
Yes.
the crocodiles, many others, they return to their original position. Why don't they choose to stay? Like we have the case of Muchukunda. He wanted to stay. He was given this benediction to awake
Take rest.
by someone who will kick him and reduce to ashes. Then he had darshan of Krishna, and he asked to stay. But Krishna said, no, you are not fit. You are someone from Satya Yuga or Treta Yuga. Go in the Himalayas mountains and make austerity.
Yeah.
He was a giant. He was not fit for the leaders of the Lord. But he wanted to stay. He did a good choice. But unfortunately, he didn't fit with the pastime of the Lord. Then he went to the Himalayas, where he's still somewhere in a cave.
Yeah, because because he slept for such a long time that ages had passed by, and so he was still in his previous body, which was huge.
But his choice, his calculation was to appear when Krishna was there.
Yeah.
Once the other demigods, they choose to go back to their original position.
And imagine that story, right? He could have asked anything to Krishna. Krishna gave him the benediction. Krishna said, "Thank you for helping me in this task. I give you a benediction." He could have asked anything, but he asked to stay, which is like.
Same with Hanuman, right? At the end of Treta Yuga, everybody was going. Even I think it was Sugriva who said that I cannot bear this separation. I just want to go back with you.
Yeah.
But Hanuman, Lord Ram said, you have to stay till the end of Kali Yuga. You have to preach the glories of the holy name.
Yeah.
He said, okay, my Lord, whatever you decide.
But then he got an extra benediction, right? He said that you can come back. But he said, well, how will I bear your separation? Okay, you can come back to me anytime you want.
Okay.
So then he could go to Ayodhya anytime he wants, and he can come back. Obviously, he has to come back and do his duties.
He came back also. He came back as a flag of
Arjuna, yes. To roar amongst the army of Pandavas, and to break the hearts of the Kauravas. Wonderful.
Well, the Lord has, He has unlimited plans. Like we were discussing in a class one time. Who are these people? You have Yamadutas, right?
Okay.
Who are these people? Like they end up in that position. They have the desire. They have a tinge of desire to be on higher planetary system. Some devotee answered this that the police, they have this controlling nature of punishing people and trying to correct them. So okay, they have some pious critics and they go back to the place where they become Yamadutas. Who wants to become Yamadutas, right? But Lord knows how to engage everyone. You could have been one of the Vasus. Now you're done with it. You just want to go back to Krishna.
Yeah.
I think we've done all those things. We're exhausted. We just want Krishna. We just want you.
We would think that all devatas, they would like to be part of the pastime of the Lord, but it looks like not so everyone is like that. Even in heavenly planets. They are comfortable in their situation, in their asana, the retinue, the people, the worship, and like that. Attached to that.
Yeah, material opulence this is a danger. That's why heavenly planets are a danger, because it's Bila Swarga. Actually there is no suffering at all. Bila Swarga is actually there in the lower planetary system. It is said that it is more enjoyable than normal heaven.
Really?
Yeah, there is absolutely no suffering.
Birasal Swarga.
Yeah, Bila Swarga. You can read in the Bhagavatam when you talk about planetary system. Their lifespan is too big. Their light comes from the jewel on the head of Anantasej, because they are close to Anantasej. They have got absolutely no suffering. They have like beautiful parks, gardens, like you can imagine everything they have. At the end,
they drink the Soma Rasa.
Soma
That's
Rasa
in
is-
Indra, right?
Yeah, that's more
Indra there.
moon planet and Indra's thing. These living entities, they have done pious credits. They just want enjoyment. The Krishna provides. At the end, the full span is over. That's when I think the devastation happens. That's when they start to realize, oh my God, what did we do? It becomes, see, one time, every day you are experience, that's our material world. We experience struggle every day, happiness, struggle, happiness. We know, oh my God, it's just basically a struggle. But for them, they don't know what it is. But when the devastation happens, they get like completely bewildered. They are like, that's when they take shelter of, they move to the higher
They
planet.
surrender.
During
Like nowadays, some war is boiling and something like that. And many devotees are attached to the, it's comfortable, not so bad here. But then Krishna may make some arrangement for that to they understand, well, it's not a good place here anyway, to surrender. In times of plague or war, or lack of food, or anything, tsunami, super hot, super dry, whatever, yeah, then people, they flock to the temple and to the mosques and they start praying. So devotees, they will be like that.
You raise a very interesting point, because even in our life, in Krishna consciousness, in so many religious religious cultures, that people are willing to surrender, but they get so distracted by the strong Maya energy that they are attached, then get attached to the nice things or the desire fulfilling things of the spiritual activity, isn't it? And then they get more aligned to that, rather than actually finding out how to surrender the Lord, how to actually serve Him, what is it takes to serve Him. And people get bewildered by sense gratification within Krishna consciousness, because there's so much sense gratification within Krishna consciousness itself.
Say it again.
There's so much sense gratification within Krishna consciousness itself. And so people get attached to that rather than actually surrendering to the process of Krishna consciousness and trying to develop this love of Godhead, isn't it?
Yeah, it's danger at every
But
step.
can you say this kind of sense gratification, it's purifying, it doesn't contaminate your consciousness?
It depends on our intention, right? It all depends on what the intention is. If the intention is to, I really enjoy that rasagula, I just want to have more, tomorrow I'm going to have another one, etc. I'm just using a mundane example, but you get the point. If our intention is to, actually this is Krishna's prasad, I will take half, I'll share the other half, and then, well then that's the intention is completely different. Do you see?
Well, yeah, it's in the Upanishadamrita, Atyara Prayasachara.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's collecting more than necessary or eating more than necessary. It's not favorable to make progress in Krishna consciousness, actually, to a hindrance.
So then how to guard against that is the question.
It's time also, right? In the beginning we say, okay, you eat 10 rasgullas, it's fine, just come back.
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
rasgulla example.
yeah.
In the beginning we are like, Prabhu, better than eating outside, eat hundreds of rasgullas or gulaps or whatever. But we cannot stay on that platform forever.
Forever, yeah.
We have to.
You're going to get obese and diabetic.
We have to keep challenging ourselves every moment. Am I going to do this for myself? Or the sloka also, akama, sarvakama, mokshakama, whatever desire you have, do it inside, as you said, do it inside. But later we have to elevate, we cannot just stay there. Yeah, diabetes later.
Yeah, that's really again an interesting point, and you also raised that in that do it on the inside, take the association, reveal the mind, and ask for help. Yeah, otherwise on your own.
Even inside we build walls.
Yeah.
Our own walls. This is me. Don't enter my wall.
Yeah.
Being in management, that one good advantage is we always should take shelter of devotees. There is no other way. If we think I am the doer or I am the controller, I can do this. No, that's finished. That's the end of the story. Even from the bhakta to the senior devotees. In the beginning, just to give our own personal example, Jananand Maharaj was emphasizing always discuss any project with senior devotees. In the beginning we were like, nah, this devotee has this defect, this devotee. But later we realized that could be their part, but they have something they're already offering to Krishna to the project. So it really makes a big difference when we take shelter.
Well, it's all based on what qualification have you got.
Adhikar, yeah.
Adhikar. So if you have some qualification, then you're able to come up with some good ideas.
But as Prabhu was saying, everybody has something to offer. Krishna's created every one of us that we can offer something. There's so much to offer, isn't it?
Every single devotee is empowered with something.
Yeah.
Some good quality.
Yeah. Grantrashram Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
You're 5 minutes early.
Hari Bol.
Sankirtan Priya Prabhu ki.
Hare Krishna, Gaura Bhaktavinda ki.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.